Welcome to a video where I'm going to show you how to get around the Nurburgring. Now, this is a big circuit, 12 to 13 miles of racetrack, known as the most demanding, the most grueling circuit in the world. Many manufacturers using it to benchmark their cars and fine-tune their cars for the most sportiness of sportiness. And I'm going to show you how to get around it. Now, I'm not a professional racing driver. I'm merely an enthusiast. I've done around 125 or more laps of the Nurburgring, so I have some experience. I've been tutored on the Nurburgring, so I have an idea of what to do, more than your average person that will just turn up for the first time, that's for sure. So this video is aimed at you if you are going to the ring for the first time, or if you've been a couple of times and you just want to know it a little bit better. The car we're going to do this in is the Nissan GTR. It's my first time here in the Nissan GTR, so in the video you're going to see I'm being a little bit more cautious than I possibly have been in the past. The lines I'm going to take are going to be sensible and what I understand to be the best lines that you could take. It's up to you when you get out there. Depending on your car, you might find it different. Now, this video is going to give you a good idea of what to do, but it is important to know that it is no match for experience or proper on-circuit training by professionals. If you go on a tourist day, you have no option to get training. So this is kind of like a good guide for you. If you're going on a proper track day, this video can still serve you well. But if you go with companies such as circuitdays.co.uk, for example, they do excellent track tutorials where a proper trained driver will go out with you and show you how to get the most of your car on any of the circuits that they do. So the Nürburgring is a good one to do. It is a bit pricier because it's a long circuit, but the quality of the training that you'll get from a place like Circuit Days, if you want to do something like that, is excellent. It will really help you push the car and yourself to limits that you didn't know that you had. So I thoroughly recommend getting proper tutorials if you're going to go on a track day at the Nürburgring. But enough of me waffling. You're going there for the first time. You just want to get a bit of an idea of how to do it. You want me to get on with the video, so let's get on with it. This is me showing you the lines around the Nürburgring. Enjoy. So here it is. We come out of the pits for a lap of the Nürburgring. Now, whether you're coming from the main straight for a second lap or you started from the pits, you want to be as far over to the right as possible when you come under that first bridge, and then just sweep over to the left side as you come around the bend. As you come down the straight, move over to the right, over to the left, and over to the right to hit these two rumble strips, or just get close to them. Drop down to third gear for here as you get to this right hand turn, move over to the left and hit that apex as you come over to hit the second apex on the left hand side. Stick in third gear, stay over on the left, and you'll come around this bend at about 40 miles an hour, depending on the car you're driving. Keep over to the left, gradually move over to the right, over to the signposting, and start to brake as you come up to this tight left-hand turn and hit an apex just there in the middle of the rumble strip. Move over to the right, gradually move over to the left, and start to come down here, move over to the right to hit the apex of the rumble on the right-hand side, and filter over to the left, and keep left as you come to this straight. This is very bumpy, so you've got to be careful here. Move over to the right gradually just to shift left again, and over to the right through this slight S-bend, back over to the left, and then just stick in sort of the middle of the track as you come around to this tiny section here. You want to go to the left, to the right, and then to the left again, hitting those apexes, moving over to the middle, back to the left. Use as much of the track as possible, stay left, and then start to move into the right and come for pretty much a straight line here down over to the right hand side of the circuit to come for a bit of a break from the bends as you get to a straight. You're going to come up a hill and over a bridge, floor it here in around fifth gear. Brake as you come up the hill, drop to fourth, ready for this turn. Move the steering wheel so you hit that apex and hold that position, and it should take you through the second apex on the turn. You come up into this long straight as you are going to follow this one around about the middle of the circuit. Don't go too far over to the right and just hit these apexes on the left. There's a couple of them there. As you floor it down here, you want to start to brake or at least ease off gently as you come to this crest of a hill and start to turn around here. Stay in the middle of the circuit as you get up to about this black line on the left hand side on the rumble strips. Start to slow down, hit third gear, round about here, and then just start to turn in, hitting an apex just about there, and then accelerate out underneath the bridge over to the left hand side. Move to the right, you're going to come to a little blind section to Foxhole. This is a straight line. Don't worry about this bend to the right, it's going to go left and you can just keep going straight. Floor it down here, you're going to be around about fifth gear. Move over to the middle, gradually over to the left to hit this apex, and start to brake and hit into fourth gear as you get to the top. Move into the left, here, you want to drop down to third gear, sticking over to the left-hand side, and then just late turn here to come up on the right-hand side, brake a little bit more, and then just sweep through this S-bend. This is a very, very difficult section of the track. You cannot come through here at great speed. As you come out of there, you want to be in sort of the middle of the circuit over to the left. I've moved to the right just so that that Porsche can come through, but we're going to come back over to the right-hand side. We're going to take the Porsche's lead, start to brake a little bit because this is a tricky bend. The Porsche just magically disappears as we start to turn around on that apex. You want to drop down to third here. There's that Porsche again. You don't want to turn in too late or too early here. You want to hit it just right so that you come through this little twist in a straight line. Over to the left-hand side, start to brake, and then just move around the middle of the circuit. And as you get to the end of this turn, move over to the left. You don't want to go too far over to the right. Stay to the middle. Now move over to the right here, not just to let the Porsche go, but because it's a good idea. Moving over to the left, straight line again through the next bend, and then over to the left-hand side as you come around the circuit again in the middle, and start to move over to the right to hit the apexes on those rumble strips as you come out here to this nice little straight down a hill. Start to brake here again, third gear. There are no second gear turns on the Nurburgring, pretty much. No second gear turns, so third is about the lowest you want to be in. Depends on your car, but third is probably the lowest that you want to be in. Move over to the left-hand side, accelerate down, move over to the right, start to brake a little bit here. As you swing in to hit this apex on the left, use all of the circuit, go over to the right, tap that rumble strip, don't worry about it, and come back over to the left, hitting that apex. Coming up the hill, apex on the right, move over to the left, and gradually move your way to the middle as you start to accelerate along this straightaway. You're going to come up to a crest here, which is going to go to a left-hand turn. You want to ease off, because you don't want to go into the wall on the right-hand side. Hit the apex on the left. You can hit the middle of the circuit, move over to the left, start to brake down, drop a gear, and then take a late turn in here and start to accelerate out through the turn as you come on to a section of the track where you'll really get to stretch the legs of the car. Now, there's going to be 3 quick left turn apexes that we hit with one position of the steering wheel. There's the first one, there's the second one, and here is the third one. One position of the steering wheel will take you through all 3 of those. Ease off the accelerator. You don't need to brake, but ease off slightly for this left bend. You don't want to over egg it. You'll move over to the right, just sweep back over to the left, and you can really start to push the car here now, going up the rev range and up the speedo. Don't be too afraid. Don't be too afraid. But about here, you want to start easing off, move over to the right and then over to the left. If you come at this too fast, it's a very deceptive turn. If you come at it too fast, you risk coming off the track. Stay over to the right and then move to the left, and you can start to accelerate again. Up over this crest to the right, and we're going to come up to the biggest part of the Nurburgring, the bit we all know, and that is the carousel. Start to ease off, drop down to third over on the left side of the circuit, move around this bend, and this is a bend that I rarely get right, in all honesty. This is a bend I rarely get right, in all honesty with you, but we just about managed it there. Stay in a straight line and aim for that AMG sign. Do not follow the turns. Brake, drop down. Do not let your wheels touch the tarmac on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. Stick on the grey. And as you come out, you'll be absolutely fine. You will get traction control there if you're not careful. You probably want to stick to around 40, 45 miles an hour, maybe 50, but traction control could be a problem there. So do be careful on the carousel. Come over to the right hand side here, stick to the right, and then start to ease off a little bit because this is a tight turn going into another right, and you'll want to be in around about third or fourth here as you come up over onto the left. Drop to third if you weren't there already, and start to move in over to the right hand side of the circuit, then sweep back over to the left. You're going to stay around about the middle or the left hand side of the circuit here, and then start to turn in, moving all the way over to the right because you're going to come up to a left where you can sweep in at just the right moment and carry a straight line through to the other side of the circuit through that little twist. Now, as we come up here, we're going to ease off again as we start to turn around to the right hand side and then move to the right. Do not turn in too early here. I feel that car in front turned a little bit too early. You don't need to go that early. Stay in the middle and then move in around about here to get a nice line down on the left hand side and then over to the right by this viewing area. Move over to the left. Be cautious here. Do not go off onto the left hand side. You can get some slip here, so just move in, capture that apex, and then come up, tap the rumble strip, but don't go over it. Over to the right again, and this is another corner you need to be very careful of as you move in. Tap that apex, hitting the apex naturally on the right hand side. Stay in the middle, don't go to the left, and then start to move your way over to the right a bit. Ease off and then accelerate down this hill and then start to brake before you get to this crest. You'll feel the car bump a little bit, stay on the left, hit the apex on the right, watch out for the sand trap, do not overdo it. This is a corner where a lot of people come off. Don't be another YouTube video. Move over to the right hand side and then start to move over to the left as we let that car go past. Accelerate down here, ease off slightly, turning to the right, and you're going to have another blind crest with a straight. It's bends, but it's straight. Just head straight through. You don't need to turn too much. Hit fourth gear around about here, hit the rumble strip. You're moving up to fifth gear at this point, just accelerating. Start to brake, down to fourth, down to third here, then move in a little bit later, allowing you to attack this corner from the right hand side and just ease your way through there, moving over to the right naturally. And we come to the mini carousel. We hit this one, not quite as carefully as we did with the main one, and then just come out on the left hand side and start to move over to the middle and then back to the left. This car wanted to let me go, but I was being cautious. He moves over, we move to the left. Here you want to kind of stay to the left and to the middle. Don't turn in too early. Don't turn in too early. Turning in now, and then you'll come to the bridge, and that is where you end your lap before the final straight. Now remember, I am not a trained racing driver. I do have a racing license, but I'm not a professional racing driver. I'm merely an enthusiast that has done 125 or more laps of the Nurburgring. Have been tutored on it once before by circuitdays.co.uk. They did tutoring the last time I went there on a track day. Very, very good. Learned a lot about the circuit, and that's where my experience is coming from. Your car, your ability will mean that you might find some other things that you'll need to switch up a little bit, but overall, the lines that I've tried to walk you through and show you in this video are kind of where you want to try and stick to. Always be mindful of other cars that are on the circuit as well. Do not stick to your line if it puts you or anyone else on the circuit at risk. If you need to move over because a car behind you is faster, then please do so. Do not be a nuisance on track. Safety first is what you have to think about when you're out there. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully you've liked it. If you have, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, keep up to date with all my future videos. Share this with anyone that you think might need a bit of help on the Nurburgring. It all does help. And remember, if you are going on a proper track day with someone like Circuit Days, this video is very useful to you, in my opinion, but it is no substitute for real experience and also getting some training. So if you're going on a proper track day, whether it's circuitdays.co.uk or another company that offers track days, then do take the opportunity to get some proper training from their proper qualified drivers, because you will get so much more out of it if you do that. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next one.